You won't find President Obama's name on the ballot come November, but his State of the Union address tonight will most certainly have an impact in the race for his office.
Ryan Nobles joins us now live in Washington. Ryan, what can we expect from the president in his address tonight?
Well, Steve and Ursula, it's going to be an interesting position for President Obama. He does not want to talk about a laundry list of accomplishments, but instead set out an ambitious agenda for his final year in office. And even though this speech won't take place in a swing state, it comes at a time when the campaign is just starting to get competitive. And you can bet whatever the president says tonight will have a big impact on who replaces him in the White House.
President Obama's seventh and final State of the Union address will not only set the agenda in Congress and his administration,
we the people.
So you got to cut spending.
But for the people vying for his job.
There's going to be change, but real change, not Obama change.
White House officials say the president will go broad and outline his vision for the country. And the topics we can expect: gun control.
Every time I think about those kids, it gets me mad.
His speech comes just a few days after announcing a series of executive actions to tighten federal gun laws. It's a bold move on a controversial topic that could end up helping Republicans in the primaries as they tap into voter fears over government overreach.
We have a president that views the Constitution as an annoyance, as an outdated and stale document.
President Obama and Hillary Clinton continually focus on stripping the constitutional rights of law-abiding citizens instead of fighting the bad guys.
Senior administration officials say that Obama also plans to devote part of his speech to national security. It's an issue Republicans have hammered the president on in recent months.
Right now, the state of our union is a mess. We can't beat ISIS. Our military is falling back. It's not being properly taken care of.
White House advisors say the president will paint a positive picture of the nation's direction, a contrast to what the Obama administration calls the doom and gloom rhetoric from the Republican Party.
But what the president is going to lay out is a picture of the country moving forward, focused on the future, not afraid of it.
In South Carolina, Governor Nikki Haley will deliver the Republican response. She's someone to look for. Many view her as one of the top contenders to be the Republican vice presidential nominee.